Okay, what I'm trying to do with this transformer is make a spot welder. I'm going to cut this secondary winding off and then use this thicker wire to make the secondary. And what that's going to do, instead of giving high voltage, no amp or hardly any amperage with this secondary, it's going to give you low voltage and high amperage with this secondary. But the first thing I got to do is cut all this off and get it to where the only winding in here is this one. I'm going to do it with a sawzall. You can do it with a hacksaw, which I tried to do, but as you can see, you'll be there all day. Sawzall would work better. Just depends on your resources and how much time you got. If you are going to use a sawzall, take your time, cut down to what you think's low enough, and then use a handsaw for the rest, because you don't want to damage that coil that's up underneath it. You're going to need that primary, so be real careful if you are going to use a sawzall. It's real easy to get ahead of yourself and tear up the whole transformer. Alright, I've successfully cut the secondary winding on both sides. Now what I'm going to have to do is take a screwdriver and push this through. Now it's glued together on all sides with laminate, so this might be a time-consuming job. I'll let you know when I'm done. Got some really thick wire to put in here, so what I'm going to do is remove the metal that's in between these two, called shunts, I believe is what they're called. I'm going to remove all that, give some more room for my wire to go through. I took a lot of the shunt out, probably a 1/4 inch of it. I didn't want to take no more than that because I didn't want to hurt that primary transformer down there. So now what I'm going to do is try to install the secondary. I got 2 gauge wire and then 2/0 gauge wire, and I think that might be aught gauge. But I'd like to get the aught gauge in there first just for the secondary. If I can, I'll go with the 2 gauge. Okay, I've got 2 turns of the 2 gauge on there. Primary at the bottom, the secondary at the top. So we're gonna put some power to this and see how many volts we got coming out this side. The aught gauge wire, as you can see, is a lot bigger. I'm going to try one of these, but what that's going to entail is cutting the top off and then winding this wire over it. It would be impossible to shape this wire to fold through there twice with it closed like this. Maybe not impossible, but you would have to have pipe benders or some way to form the wire that I just don't have right now. I don't have the resources to do that right now, so maybe this will work just as good. Alright, I'm testing the primary. I've got 123 volts. That's from the primary side. I'm testing the secondary now. About 2 volts. So it's definitely doing its job.